It's time for another edition of Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Alex Gaul, and that's Emmie Keenan. We're glad you're here with us on this beautiful Friday afternoon. And we start today with another loss for Herm and the Sun Devil football team.
You're right, Alex. That was a loss that I was not expecting. Tell me more.
Yeah, of course. Well, I made the journey up to the Pacific Northwest to get all the highlights. Take a look. Still in search of bowl eligibility, ASU football trekked up to Corvallis on Saturday for a date with the Oregon State Beavers. But those high hopes would be chopped down for the third straight week as the Beavers use an offensive explosion to narrowly edge the Devils 35-34. It wasn't a lack of offense that doomed the Devils, with Jaden Daniels notching his fourth 300-yard passing performance of the season. Rather, it was a late-game decision that sealed ASU's fate. Points and touchdowns weren't at a premium in Saturday's ball game, with both offenses combining for a total of 10 touchdowns in the contest. But when ASU needed points the most, they went for the risky gamble of going for the lead instead of going for the tie. Inside the final 2 minutes, Daniels found star wideout Brandon Ayuk for his third touchdown pass of the night, setting up a tie game barring the extra point. But that's where things took a turn, because head coach Herm Edwards decided to go for two. The conversion failed, but Herm didn't back down from his decision.
If you kick it, you still got to stop them from scoring. I told the football team, I said, I'm not playing to lose, man. We fought uphill this whole game. When we got in there, I told them, I said, when you score, so we're going for two. I don't second guess myself on that one.
The Sun Devils had their chances throughout the ball game, tying to score 4 separate times, but they never took the lead as Oregon State kept finding ways to get back in front. Beaver quarterback Jake Luton nearly tallied 300 yards of his own and gave ASU secondary fits all evening.
Just trying to get the slump we in. Just trying to just work the details every day. And trying to just get the details perfect for the game, so when we come in the game, we can perfect everything. Not start out slow, not have these big mistakes.
The loss drops ASU to 5-5 on the season and keeps them, at least for the moment, out of bowl contention. Reporting in Corvallis, Oregon, Alex Gaul, Cronkite Sports. On the heels of their 4th straight loss, the Devils will face arguably their toughest opponent yet this coming weekend, with college football playoff hopeful number 6 Oregon in town for a primetime 5:30 kickoff. Our reporters Gabe Swartz and Gareth Kwok are on hand to break everything down. Thanks so much, Gareth. ASU football is still looking to establish a long-term foothold amongst the top teams in the country. But on the same day they lost to the OSU Beavers, another ASU athletic team claimed their 4th straight national championship. Dynasty? I think yes. Here's our Peyton Gallagher with the story on ASU women's triathlon. Thank you, Peyton. And after a disappointing showing in China, ASU men's basketball returned to the desert for their first 2 home games of the season. Behind 2 strong performances from freshman phenom Jalen House, Bobby Hurley and company put the smack down on both Central Connecticut State and Rider. After Sunday's win over the Bronx, Hurley spoke to the media about his squad's performance. From Bobby's squad to Charlie's squad, the Arizona State women's basketball team suffered a setback to their hot start last weekend, falling in Minnesota 80-66 to the Golden Gophers and dropping out of the top 25. Our Cameron Miner has a story. We go from one net to the other because Sania Tomasevich and the ASU volleyball team is climbing up the standings. The Sun Devils claimed their 3rd straight conference victory last night over number 22 Washington State. And to break down that match and their postseason prospects, we begin WCSN volleyball analyst Claire Cornelius. Claire, how are you today?
Great, thank you.
So Claire, first of all, they had a 4-set win last night against Washington State. What was your main takeaway from that match?
So from this match, it was super close match. Cougars totaled 52 kills, Sun Devils totaled 49, and junior outside hitter Andrea Mitrovic had a great game, 11 kills for the Sun Devils. It was a special night for the seniors as it was senior night. All their families were there. Super special for the Sun Devils. And this game officially made them eligible for the NCAA tournament, which is super exciting. Great end to the match of the Washington State.
Yeah, and Claire, of course, this team has gone through their ups and downs. You said they became eligible last night for the NCAA tournament. They have stabilized as of late. How have they improved throughout conference play?
They started out conference play as a super inconsistent and unreliable team between not only every match, but every single set. And throughout conference play, they've really just improved and grown into a more steady force in the Pac-12. freshman outside hitter Imani Sonovich has really proven herself to be a vital component of the Sun Devil offense. She's totaled double-digit kills in every road game since Stanford in October. And on the defensive side, senior libero Courtney Leffel has earned herself Pac-12's Defensive Player of the Week twice this season and has totaled 20-plus digs in the past 3 matches.
Yeah, of course, and Claire, this team is now inside the top 64 rather of their RPI. Their team sheet shows a lot of similarities to a lot of fringe teams in the NCAA tournament from last year. What does the ASU team need to do this year to make sure they make the tournament?
Right, so like I said earlier, the match against Washington State made them officially eligible for the NCAA tournament, so actually getting a spot really just means continuing their upward momentum and not falling prey to their old inconsistent habits. And last year, the Pac-12 sent 8 teams to the tournament, including U of A, Colorado, Washington State, and Oregon, all of which ASU has beaten at least once, if not twice this season. So I'd say they're in pretty good shape and have a legitimate opportunity to make it to the tournament this year.
That's WCSN volleyball reporter Claire Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining us, and for more of her content, you can click on over to cronkitesports.com. Speaking of ranks and tournament time, the Pac-12 has been living up to its moniker, the Conference of Champions, so far this fall. Here's our Ashley Engel with this week's Impact. It's a big day on the mats as ASU Wrestling is set to grapple with the #1 team in the land. The Penn State Nittany Lions are at Desert Financial Arena, and for a preview of the duel, we send it over to our own Kelsey Khaleesi.
And now it's time for one of my favorite segments. We each ask each other questions. Whoever has the best responses wins and gets to rant. So first off, will ASU be bowl eligible?
Well, that's the question, Emmie. If you would have asked me that about a month ago, there was not a shadow of a doubt. The answer was yes, 100%. But now we're not so sure. ASU's got to beat either Oregon or Arizona. I don't think they beat Oregon. Oregon's a great team. They're going to beat Arizona on a last-second field goal, but this time ASU is going to make a field goal. It's not because Arizona is going to miss a field goal.
Now, I agree with you. I don't think there's any chance of them. I'm going to say that 4-game losing streak is going to make it 5 against Oregon. I think they can beat Arizona, but it's not going to be as dramatic as you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think so either, Emmie. And we'll move now to the basketball court. Can ASU women's basketball get a comeback victory on Sunday and beat Cal Poly?
Well, I think it's early in the season. Charlie Turner-Thorne, she really preaches that discipline, that determination within her players. Even the girls after the Michigan game or the Minnesota game, they were still saying, hey, we need to get that discipline in our practices. It's early. They can get it. I mean,
yeah, I think Minnesota is a better team than the 3 teams that they have played, Army and Air Force, and then, of course, Cal Poly on Sunday. So I definitely think they're going to get the score, and they're going to get a lot of points. They're going to fast break them as well. They've had 3 games so far this season where they've had over 20 fast break points. So I think it's going to happen. I think they're going to get it done on Sunday.
All right, and a fun one. What ASU coach would you invite to your Thanksgiving dinner, Alex?
Oh, that's the question. I mean, there's so many good options. You could talk about Bobby Hurley. You could talk about Herm Edwards. But I'm going to go for a little bit of an untraditional pick, and ASU defensive coordinator Danny Gonzalez. That man knows his stuff. I could imagine having a conversation with him about football, about life, about anything. You could ask that man about one specific play, about a football game, and you could go into every single instance of that play the entire season. The guy has a wealth of knowledge. He would be a lot of fun to sit down with at the Thanksgiving table.
All right, and I guess I'm going with Charlie. I mean, I don't even have an explanation. It's just Charlie. You have to invite her. You have to.
Excellent. I mean, now we'll move right into top plays. 3 of them on the docket for you. The first one coming from last night. Number 3, ASU volleyball. It's the first set, and ASU is going to get the victory here, 25-23. It's the seniors. It's Jada Burst for the kill. And ASU takes down number 22, Washington State, but a big night for ASU seniors.
On to number 2. We're staying in Desert Financial. We're going to see Remy Martin right there. See him get the steal. He's going to pass it up to Jalen House, and he's going to put that in. We're going to see it one more time, Alex. Look at this. He's going to go up and put that in for the Devils.
Absolute dime from Remy to Jalen. We'll go back to Corvallis. It's Reser Stadium. It's going to be a punt from the Beavers, and Brandon Ayuk is standing at his own 40. We know what's going to happen next. There's 1. And there's 2, and there's 3, 4, 5, and he gone. Brandon Ayuk all the way for a touchdown. It's a big punt return touchdown for the future first-round pick, I think at least, Brandon Ayuk, but ASU couldn't get the victory. 35-34, they lose at Reser Stadium. But thank you all so much for tuning into this edition of Cronkite Sports Live. For our entire crew in the studio, our producers Troy Tauscher and Alex Hook, and for Emmie Keenan, I'm Alex Gaul. Thanks for the privilege of your time, and have a great Friday.